Jay Jones, guy running for attorney general in Virginia. Holy cow. I'm assuming that you've already seen these texts. If you haven't, really quickly, let me catch you up here. This is graphic 2. This is a text that this guy sent in 2022, I believe, talking to a colleague of his, talking about wanting to murder several of his conservative colleagues. If those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals and piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets in the head, basically saying if there were 3 people to kill, he would kill this guy, his colleague in the Senate in Virginia, instead of Hitler or Pol Pot. Spoiler, Gilbert, yada, 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 receives bullets every time, yada, yada, yada. That's basically the gist of it. This is just catching you guys up to speed on that. Again, crazy text exchange that a guy who is still running, and maybe in the couple hours between when we film this and when the show airs, he will have dropped out. But so far, the only person calling for him to drop out, interestingly enough, has been Joe Scarborough on MSNBC, saying he probably should be forced to withdraw from the race. Other than that, as of right now, he hasn't even lost a single endorsement over this. I did want to play a clip of this guy, though, talking about what he values most in life. Again, remember, this is a guy who sent text messages saying, hey, we should kill our conservative colleagues. Also, that he would laugh at the graves of their kids if their kids were to die. Watch this clip and I'll let you be the judge of his sincerity in either situation, by the way. Check this out, clip 9.
People always told me that your priorities come into focus when you become a parent. And my highest priority will always be the safety of our families.
You said, according to the article, I'm quoting, Gilbert's wife could watch her own child die in her arms so that Gilbert might reconsider his political views. I can think of nothing more horrific than a mother having to hold her dying child. How can Virginians trust a man who said something so horrific, so callously?
Well, again, I am so deeply, deeply sorry for what I said, and I wish that it hadn't happened, and I would take it back if I could.
Hey, I'm calling BS here on the sincerity meter. Technically, well, not technically. If you think that it's okay to send text messages like that, by the way, to somebody who would rat you out, by the way, that's also a factor in this story that I think is not mentioned enough. Not that you would condone this sort of behavior in any way, shape, or form, but if you're gonna send that sort of thing, send it to somebody who agrees with you. I don't even know what I'm saying here. Don't ever send that sort of stuff, but definitely don't send it to somebody who would then go to the newspapers and report it, because that's, I don't know, that's a sign of idiocy more than anything. But you know what I think is really interesting about the response here from this guy is he says, I'm sorry that I sent that. And then he says something that libs often say in situations that they themselves created. I wish that didn't happen. It reminds me of Governor Newsom in California, where he continually goes on and says, yeah, this homeless problem is out of control. The crime problem is out of control. We got to do something about it. As if it just befell upon him. Oh no, California crime just happened to get super bad while I was in power for the last 15 years. That's what this sounds like to me. I wish this didn't happen. This didn't happen. I wish I didn't send them. And he kind of said that, but I think he was, again, trying to tack towards this just happened to me. There's no way that anyone could have seen this coming. Just because I think it's interesting and worth noting, in 2022, this guy, Jay Jones, who's again running for AG in Virginia, and has since, as at this point, not dropped out after those horrible text messages were made public. In 2022, he was clocked at 116 miles an hour and charged with a first-class misdemeanor that carried a maximum penalty of 12 months and $2,500. He apparently paid a fine for that and has moved on with his life, but I don't know, just an interesting thing. The guy who recklessly drives at 100, I don't think I've ever been over 100 miles an hour, let alone 116 miles an hour driving. Probably doesn't make good decisions. You're going to get clocked at 116. You're also going to send these text messages. maybe not necessarily the guy that I want making decisions on my behalf, which is what elected representatives do.